Glad you're streaming with us. The cross-examination of Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend is now underway. The woman known to the jury as Jane testifying that she still loves Combs, despite also saying that he punched, choked, and dragged her just weeks after the hotel video of him attacking Cassie Ventura, and when that went public. This comes after the judge denied the defense's request for a mistrial. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his defense team says any sexual encounters were consensual. Let's bring in civil trial attorney Tre Lovell for more. So, Tre, the judge denied the defense's request for a mistrial. Do you think that was the right decision?
Yes, not enough has happened for there to be a mistrial, and going forward is certainly the right thing, and letting the testimony and the evidence play out.
So, what are your first impressions of how the defense is handling Cross today?
The defense is doing a good job because what they really need to do is show that this was a consensual, loving relationship at times that had its bad moments. Now, Jane is an interesting witness because she fits the elements for the prosecution for sex trafficking. She was, engaging in sex under fraud, force, or coercion, for a commercial purpose. So she's claiming that she was forced to have sex with these sex workers under the duress or coercion of getting her bills paid, of assault or force. However, the defense is painting a different picture. They're saying, no, no, no. You were his girlfriend. You had a relationship. You would leave at times. It would come back. You loved him. You did things for him. You may not have liked the sex work or the freak offs or hotel nights they had, but you liked the relationship and you consented to the relationship as a whole, whether it was good or bad. That's what the defense is really trying to pound out.
So, Jane testified that Combs is still paying her rent and her legal bills. She also testified his lawyers were the first people she told about Combs allegedly assaulting her in June of 2024. So, how do you think the defense will use these details during cross?
First of all, it doesn't make sense if she's getting sex trafficked and she's testifying, up to the time that he's still paying her rent. That shows that there's something else going on. There's some type of relationship here that doesn't make sense to what the prosecution is trying to prove. And it was a very effective point to bring up by the defense. So the defense basically, the primary counts for the sex trafficking being Cassie and Jane. The problem for the prosecution is that they're girlfriends. And when you have a relationship, you're imposing and interposing reasonable doubt in there in terms of the consent side. And that is the constant battle that the prosecution is having with these two witnesses.
Tre, thank you. And for more on the Combs trial, you can catch ABC News Live and our show Burden of Proof, the case against Diddy. That's every night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern.